Ladies and gentlemen, the first one of the year, the big Matthew T.
How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
Another March, man.
Welcome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me as well on the Double B podcast. I couldn't be more happy.
Mate.
Especially being the first guest of the year for you. Obliged.
I know I haven't had any guests probably since February last year. The year was a strange year. It's getting stranger, actually, by the day.
The last 2 years have been very strange. It's very unnormal. And but to be honest, man, to be on your podcast after seeing the hustle you've been putting in,
thanks, man.
Seeing you on YouTube, it inspired me. And I'm like, you know what? As soon as you hit me up, I'm like, I got to be here, man. I got to be here for my boy.
Bro, you know, I could say the same thing about you because well, man, probably we should tell people how we know each other.
Let's do it.
We've gone back
many years. We've gone back probably, I reckon if I'm just randomly guessing, I reckon probably about 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, I'd say about that.
We're about, what, 32 now?
Yeah, I'm 33. 34 this year. Oh, wow. 34 in September. How old are you, 33?
33 in September.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, 89.
Yeah, 89. Yeah, 88, yeah.
88, yeah, bro.
So this is going back a while. This may be
back.
This may be like 2006, 7 or something, man.
We're going back, and I should probably find that photo from my formal.
Yep.
So we know each other because I went to school with your wife.
That's right. But we found out afterwards.
But you're married to the girl you were dating with in school.
That's right.
And then we had a mutual friend, Anthony.
Big Anthony, shout out.
Shout out to Amp. He linked us up somehow. I don't know how you guys knew each other.
I can't remember.
Don't know how it works.
We tried talking about this the other day.
Yeah, couldn't work it out.
We tried taking it back to exactly where, pinpoint it, and our memories are just...
Not going to work.
No, not going to work.
Yeah, we had a lot of... we had a friend that died. We had people get married, obviously kids.
That's right.
Man, shit's just
been to my wedding, all that, and
yes.
And we even looked at some old photos, even when I still had hair.
The mullet,
I had the dirty mullet, right?
That's the photo I'm going to put up.
That's the iconic photo. People have to see that.
It's got to go up,
just so they can at least see me with hair and just see us how we looked back then.
And you never smiled, never. You smiled more times in this room in the last 3 minutes than you have the last 20 years I've known you.
Evolution, man, evolution. As soon as you get older, man, all the things you start to learn, start to figure out, man. Only if you knew all this information we do now in life, we could probably have been,
Bro, 100%. 100%. Yeah. But, it's good that we're reconnecting and we're sort of on a similar path in life, working, kids, got a podcast. To see yours, it's called A Nobody's Podcast, right?
A Nobody's Gym Journey Through Life podcast.
A Nobody's Gym Journey Through Life podcast.
Yeah.
So your podcast, for people that don't know, and hopefully people know about your podcast after this,
hopefully
you sit with the mic and the camera, you just did an episode with someone recently, but most of it's just you on your own, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So you're hearing the sound of your voice hours upon hours upon hours.
It's a difficult process, man. And if you give me the chance, I'll take you back.
Go for it, man.
I'll be honest with you guys, just to let anyone know, especially Benny's listeners, what a great podcast. I'm not just saying it because he's in front of me and he's a mate of mine, but I truly was inspired when I found out, if I take it back a bit, it's about maybe, I think you've been doing it for a while. You've been trialing it for a bit, but I think the Double B podcast maybe about 2 years ago. I think
something
maybe.
Like that,
Right, and I seen it, and I said to my wife, I said straight away, I said to Hife, I said, look, see what Benny's doing? And I'll be honest with you, I said, he's doing something different. It's not different. A lot of people do have podcasts, but especially in our community, in our circles, in our groups, in Sydney in particular, in Australia, not many people's doing what he's doing.
There's not much,
Not many people have got a free mind, be themselves and expressing themselves and taking the leap upon themselves
man,
to try to explore different avenues, right? And when I seen that, it kind of inspired me a bit because it's something that I always thought of. Like you, we both probably follow the exact same entertainment, like when it comes to podcasts, movie, music. Similar, right? And I was like, I like what you were doing. And I was inspired by it. And I was like, maybe I could do something like that too. So I did my research, and me and you were going back and forth a bit over the last couple of years. And I said, eventually, when it's time, we'll sit and we'll get there. And so I invested. I had research for podcast equipment, just like yourself. Not being a very tech savvy person myself, it's difficult.
It's hard, man. It's all different language, right? You're learning about these little gadgets and things, and bro, everything in front of you here was all like trial and error. Buy this, buy that. Okay, I need something to plug the headphones in so I can move around. Okay, then I need something to hook the laptop. And you have to, if you don't know it, you can call around and get advice, but ultimately you got to do the homework, You
got to do it. And that's what I found. That's what I found. I said, the best thing for you to do, and that was my fault as well. Like, I have a brother-in-law, shout out to Jacob. He's amazing, right? he's in IT, and I was relying on him a lot for information and assist me.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what, I can't do it because it's not his passion project, it's mine.
Yeah.
And I had to do the research as hard as it was for me to wrap my head around my fitness brain, around this IT, computer and all this. So I looked into it, like the audio interface, the microphones, got the laptop, got the setup, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to play with it. But I sat on it for a bit. Between 2020, I think that's when the lockdown started happening.
Yeah.
And I started investing. I started doing my research from 2020. And just up until fast forward to about November last year, I finally kicked it off. And going through all the hosting websites, doing the various things, cameras and all that.
Yep.
For the first 10 episodes, I literally just wanted it to be as organic as I possibly could.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to kind of introduce myself to people that were unfamiliar with me. Obviously, I could just speak to the people that I'm friends with on social media and all.
Yeah.
But I want to expand that, right? So for the first maybe 9 episodes, I say that just like as a limited series, people getting to understand me, my background, my love for fitness and what I'm trying to achieve and doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, so this love for fitness, because when I knew you, we were smoking ciggies, drinking, carrying on, as you would as a young adult, growing up. And because, man, from what we used to do to what you're doing now, like I felt bad telling you I had a burger for lunch. I felt horrible because I'm like, fuck, this guy's going to look at me like, what's this guy doing? But so the fitness, when did the change happen? What year was it? Because
I think probably around, so if I take it back, I started getting into like fitness, like I've always been into something. Since I was a kid, it was either soccer, footy, whatever, but really taking it seriously. I got my first gym membership off, funny enough, it was actually off my now mother-in-law, who I said in my previous episodes. Back then when my wife and myself were just boyfriend and girlfriend, for my 16th or 17th birthday, Haifa's mum actually bought me a gym membership for the year.
Oh, wow.
Never even thought about going to the gym at all.
At 16, you wouldn't think about the gym.
No, didn't even think about it.
Last thing you'd think about.
Yeah, and she's like, just try this out. You have a bit of spare time. And I was just kicking with Haifa. So I started doing that, and that's kind of where the bug started. Right. So if my wife ever wants to blame me for why I spend so much time at the gym, I just say, go talk to your mum.
It's her fault.
It's her fault. She got me into it.
Yeah.
And then just over time, man, I had the membership. I had to turn up, and I started really taking it seriously when I started maturing and really started trying to value my time when my kids came. Because I'm like, if I'm going to be going to the gym, all right, you're benefiting yourself. But in a way, it's also a selfish thing, right? Because you're taking time away from someone else.
Correct.
Right? So you're working on yourself to better yourself, so when you're home, you're calm.
Yeah.
So when I was at the gym training, I was like, I got to take this seriously because otherwise I could be using this time at home with my children.
100%.
And you need that outlet. Everyone needs an outlet, especially you as well, being a father. You need that outlet. You need to you need to get your mental clarity, get your space so you can think and make better judgments when you're around your family.
100%.
So I started making those evaluations. At the gym, I started taking myself more seriously, and I wanted to be an example for my children and be around long enough for them to see me and grow.
That's the key. That's the key, right? He Rogan, I keep talking about Rogan, but he always talks about, like, he's probably the epitome of where you want to be at 50 years old.
100%.
His bones are not breaking anytime soon. He obviously looks after himself in a way that he has thought out the longevity of life, and that's more important to him than anything else.
That's correct.
Whereas we don't think about that. Particularly when you haven't got kids, you don't think about...
You don't.
You don't think about those 20, 30, 40, 50 years later. I'm sorry, when you're 30, 40, 50, and your kids are growing, you still need to be around.
That's right.
They need you.
Remember what we were saying the other day as well? It's like in your mind, it's like as soon as you have children, it's like...
Something clicks.
That's right.
I hope people that have got kids are listening because they can relate to this. But I remember that when I had my first kid, when I heard the cry, it was like something inside of me. It was like instinctive.
Yeah.
I'd even call it animalistic, like the way animals respond to their, you see an animal being born in the wild and they just know what to do.
That's right.
It's like a dad, you know what to do. It's like, okay, I know what to do.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do, but you can take care of your seed. That's what's the weirdest thing. You know you can protect your seed.
Yeah.
You've got no idea what's coming. You've got no idea what you're doing. Yeah. As in, everything is a new... Your kid doesn't come out with a manual. It's like, oh, by the way, turn to page 65. No, there's nothing, bro. You're just like, bang, sort it out, and this is your kid, and something clicks.
That's right.
And it's like, you mature. Mm-hmm. Well, I matured, man, straight away. Like, maturity levels went through the roof.
Have to.
like visionary thinking changed. I started to look at things I used to look at things and think, 5-10 years down the track. I sort of looked at it even further. Because I'm like, all right, if I die tomorrow, what do my kids and my wife have?
That's right.
What does my family have if I die tomorrow? Everything for me is about giving my kids the best opportunity at life. And you have to be here to be able to do that. You've got to be healthy of mind, of body. You've got to be able to navigate through this world. And I say navigate because where we are now is you're almost told to navigate for yourself.
That's right.
Through this whole thing, the pandemic and everything else. But even then, when you try and navigate yourself, you're almost cut off because of all this misinformation, you know? So just trying to develop your skills as a man. I'm not as consistent with you at the gym. I'm not going to blame it on having another kid recently, but I'm going to blame it on having another kid recently.
Yeah.
Just through all the gym gear out here we got during the lockdown because it all started we just couldn't go to gyms and stuff. So we started building it up. It's gone really hard. Had the kid, time off. The schedule isn't back on track yet.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be honest with you. But when you're training, and it's stupid for me to say this because I know the feeling when you train. I know that feeling of like that burden's gone. You've got that, I feel good, man. I feel loose. I feel like I'm so rigid all the time because I don't have the structured routine of training. I used to dedicate, like it was, even last year, jiu-jitsu was massive up until the lockdown and injury and lost my license and hey, every excuse I can think of. I'll just throw them at you, bro. Here, excuse. Yeah. But legitimately, to be honest with you, last year I was like, fuck it, I'll have a kid. This year I've already started making arrangements for a new gym because I want to get back into it. I want to do morning sessions, the jiu-jitsu morning sessions, and then afternoon tea and just do the weights. And that's all I need. I don't need to become some black belt in 10 years sort of dude. Yeah. I'm happy to take my pace, cruise it. For me in jiu-jitsu, all I'll say about jiu-jitsu is it's the art of learning something new. And when you're learning something new, you're developing your skills far better and you're using your body that you never thought, at a 30-plus-year-old male, I never thought I'd be able to use my body this way.
Right.
Bending and moving. And although I copped an injury, nothing will make me happy to get back on the mats, man. Put that gi on and sweat like a motherfucker and do it. It's the best.
I know that for a fact, and you have been, and me and you've been going back and forth talking about jiu-jitsu for a while.
100%.
And I actually came back from training this morning. I said, Benny, after I finish my session, I'm going to come in and talk because...
What time is your session? 10?
10 to 11 o'clock.
What time do they open?
They open at 9, but the first class in the morning is from 10 to 11.
Okay.
But today was just a gi class, and I was like, you know what, I'll get that session, and exactly what you said, 100%, you hit the nail on the head. It's that release, right? It's being able to feel better, and you know what, and I say it all the time, if you need to make a decision, right, or if you need to come up with something and your mind's just flustered, there's two really good things that you can make in life to have like better judgment calls, right? It's either you have to sleep on it, which is legitimately true, because sometimes you can just be over flustered and just can't figure out what the solution is, or literally just go train. Block your mind out and go train. Like it sounds typical, like the gym guys saying go to the gym. It's honestly the truth because sometimes we can sit there, twiddling with our fingers, trying to figure it out, but sometimes you just got to really just...
suck it up and go.
Exactly, because otherwise you're just going to be sitting there just anxious.
No, well, see, there's a lot of gym guys... I can see a lot of similarities with the gym guys, right? I say the gym guys, you probably fall into the category. But it's always the ones that are like, the meals and all that shit. You know what they do. But the gym people...
The gym bros.
Anyone that's trained or that trains knows that it's not fun. It's not fun looking at yourself sweating. It's pretty fucking weird, actually, when you think about it. Like, in the straining phase. Like, do you want to watch yourself take a shit? Because that's almost what it's like. But when you put aside, it's like when you eat, right? Some people eat because they like the flavor, where other people eat because they want the sustenance. They don't care what it is. Give them raw broccoli. As long as they get the nutrients they need for their body to be better, they'll eat it however they need to eat it. So when you take training, one person I think I've learned a lot of lessons from, which I think is one reason I can keep turning up. When I have a dip, I know I can get myself back up, is David Goggins.
100%. It's
training yourself to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. That's how I actually got into jiu-jitsu, bro.
And that is jiu-jitsu.
I got into jiu-jitsu. I've fully got tingles. I was ringing my mate for ages. Remember Nate?
Yeah.
Nate, I was like, bro, let's do jiu-jitsu. James, his nickname's Nate. Yeah. I'm like, bro, let's do jiu-jitsu. Yeah, all right. It was almost like we chat about it, never got into it. Until one day I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to go and train because I need to get uncomfortable. I'm never going to do it if I don't do it. So I just did it. Went down to the gym, called him up, signed up, went and did it. and I was very, very fucking uncomfortable. Like if you walk into any martial arts facility, whether it's an MMA gym or a jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
anything, you walk into any facility, it's like very daunting because it's not even like you walk into a gym for the first time. You can look half decent in a gym. You know, you can look like you're lifting weights and know what you're doing. You walk into a jiu-jitsu gym and everyone's like in sync, bowing, get on the mats, hit the mats, the stretches start, and you're like, what the fuck? And no one's coming up to you going, hey mate, are you all right? You look like you're a bit like... It's just like get in there and figure it out.
Yeah.
It's the highest level of being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It really is. It's crazy.
It's a feeling of like, it's like the discipline aspect, right? It's almost like people in the army, people in the military, right? It's just falling in line, ranks, right? And it's knowing your place because you can come in at 30 years old, be a white belt, but there's a blue belt or a purple belt that's 20, 22 years old, and your age isn't a factor anymore. This guy's got time on you. He's learned it, and that's where the humbleness comes in, from, right? Because you got to stand in line and respect your rank. And that's a good thing about it because it really puts people in place of just understanding their place and just working up the line. Because you might be a GM, you might be a boss, or might be anything. I roll with a lot of guys, police officers, correctional officers.
Yeah, nice.
Roll with a lot of them. But regardless of that, regardless of their rank, they understand where they sit on the totem
when you
pole.
get to the mat, it's different.
That's right.
Everything changes.
No one cares.
You leave all your ego behind.
That's right.
And, you know, that's so true, man, because it's pretty... When you're rolling as a white belt, when you first start, I remember it was a session with blue belts, and there's a blue belt's younger than me, fucking destroying me. And I felt so... I wouldn't say...
Hopeless.
Yeah, it was almost like vulnerable, you know? It's like
right.
you're in open water, you know? Like, fuck, I'm not in my element right here. I'm out of my comfort zone.
That's right.
And you're rolling with guys. I'll never forget this dude, man. I was rolling with him. He was a white belt as well. He probably had 3 or 4 months time on me. Younger than me. But strong, man. Real strong. Like an Arab, I don't know what he was, Egyptian or something. Just real strong. Yeah. So we'd roll, bro. This guy's like going 100 miles an hour. And I'm thinking, mate, you learn something from every different person in that gym. That's right. Like from that guy, that white belt who's going 20,000 miles an hour, not, you know, the first lesson you have where you think, oh, yeah, I got this, and you go 100 miles an hour and you're like, that happened to me a few times. This guy wasn't there. He was just in a rhythm, which was so fast paced. Yeah. You learn from him, then you learn from the professor, then you learn from, and then like I roll with a blue belt, he'd be like, no. If you want to get me, put your knee there or put your arm here. And I'm like, and you're working out. Like, bro,
it's mathematics.
The best, it's definitely mathematics, but I think the best thing about jiu-jitsu that I loved was the environment that it creates, the love. There's no like, I'm better than you. No. I'm trying to become better than you. Everyone is categorized based on their ability and everyone's on their own journey, but they're all learning the same thing.
Mate.
That in itself, because even if you were to play footy or soccer or even cricket, there's a little bit of jealousy in there. It's like, oh, fuck, he hit a six. Right. Oh, he scored a try. Fuck. You want to get back at it. Yeah. Whereas jiu-jitsu...
You're caring about your stats.
Well, you care about your stats, you care about your ego, and you care about the perception. That's Whereas right. and for me, the jiu-jitsu thing, I noticed I was worried about my perception a lot. Because I felt, oh, fuck, I feel stupid. I don't feel... And I tried to blaze one before. Never. If you're getting into jiu-jitsu, do not blaze one before. As a white belt, I'd say start the blazing at blue belt. Don't start... Because I went in there thinking I'm fucking high rollers, jiu-jitsu, you know, weed smokers and Joe Rogan and fucking all... I've gone in there and I'm like, huh? And the guys... And I've got no idea because I'm in another realm. But, man, I take my hat off to people to jiu-jitsu players because it's... To get into it, it's hard. It's not cheap. It's time consuming. It's very taxing on the body.
Mate, it's definitely hard.
Yeah, it's fucking very hard.
And you know the good thing about it, and you said it, right? It's that the egos are left at the door. That's right. I don't think anybody that I've ever rolled with, everyone's the same, right? When we're on the mat, regardless of rank, everyone's the same and everyone tries to help, assist. Right. And everyone is just friendly. And honestly, it's really strange, right? And if you want an example, if anyone, and as well, I'll just clarify, rolling, when we say rolling, we mean sparring, right? So,
oh yeah, not rolling like jelly rolling.
That's right. So
like mud rolling, mud
right.
wrestling.
So rolling, sparring in jiu-jitsu terms. So if you want a good example of what we mean, it's like if you watch MMA or UFC, right? Like a lot of people, for some reason, it's hard for them to comprehend like two guys or two ladies going hard at it, and then afterwards they're shaking hands, hugging.
Oh yeah, that's a big one,
right?
Huge.
And that's like in jiu-jitsu too, right? You can be going hard at it with another guy, like I did this morning, intense as all fuck, right? afterwards I shook his hand and I praised him. I said, look, man, you really brought the intensity. And like, it's the same in MMA. It's hard because you kind of leave a bit of yourself in that match.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you're respectful because someone else brought it to you.
Bro,
that's what you want.
That man-on-man combat, not being sexist, woman-on-woman, whatever, man-on-man, mano-y-mano, that combat where it's me versus you, you versus me. I define that as probably the hardest test of ability for any gender. But I'll just use the word man. But if you and someone of a similar opposition, weight, size, abilities, all that sort of stuff, you get in there and you dance together, and one comes out the beneficiary. That for me is the biggest test. It's the truest test. Like if you're playing footy or you're playing soccer, or playing cricket, or you're playing any sport where there's more than one person, you've got a safety net.
Teammates.
You miss the ball, it can cover for you.
Yeah.
You make a run up the field, I'll cover for you.
Yeah.
Anything in those sports, you've got a bit of, it's all right, mate, you got this.
It's a safety net.
MMA, jiu-jitsu.
It's you.
It's you, but it's not just you. There's very little room for error. It's very, very high risk for very, very little reward. When you break down what you put yourself through, like even MMA, you put yourself through rigorous hours upon hours of training to get into the ring for 15 minutes to hopefully beat some dude or some chick, and you make one fuck up. You make one wrong step, one look, wrong head, arm down instead of up, it's all over. And same with jiu-jitsu, right? It's like a game of chess with the body. And the game of chess, you can't make many mistakes in chess. And just using your body as a board and moving it around the way you should. And I think the one thing I really enjoyed, Matty, was when you have an open mat or you're rolling, just like you got 5 minutes each and you're just having a go, this guy's trying to put moves on you while you're trying to put moves on this guy, and you're trying to think 10 steps ahead of what he's trying to, because you can feel his hand come, all right, he's going for the rear naked, all right, so I'm going to try and reverse this, and you're trying to work out obviously how to not get submitted, but how to then reverse that into some sort of opposition, some sort of advantage. And that takes a lot, man, because that's why I think a lot of people don't like it or they don't get into it because it's so much.
Yeah, it's a lot to take on.
I think I developed a love for it when I would watch MMA, and I started to, again, shout out to Rogan, but he used to break down, I say used to, back in the day, he used to break down the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu on another level. You're like, holy shit, this is actually pretty interesting, right? So when they used to get on the mats, after a while when they'd start rolling, I'd be like, all right, and the wrestling aspect comes into it, and I started falling really in love with these wrestlers like Khabib and Usman. I'm like, Usman, brother,
forget another level.
That wrestling base, that next level of wrestling gives you like a 60% advantage. You've already got the hard yards figured out. You've just got to learn how to punch or strike, which he's very good at. But you watch that in an art form and you're like, wow, this guy is a freak. Yep. And the way that they pick their opponents apart, and it's that 10 steps ahead thought process. All right, well, if he's going to come and do this, I've got to make sure I'm ready. I can't expose that. I can't. Even leaving a limb as like a trap. Things like that, where you're constantly thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and you have a very small window to think. Because all this time you're thinking, this guy could be pulling something out of the hat which you have no idea about, and you could be in an arm triangle before you know it.
That's what I mean.
It's one of the hardest things to get into. I think once you're in, you're in. It's very hard to walk away from. And I think I was pretty fortunate because the gym I was at, I didn't feel the love that everyone spoke about for so long, because that's what really got me into it too. That love, that camaraderie. Obviously, you have tournaments and competitions where you roll and you compete, but the overall aspect of it was that camaraderie, that love for each
important.
Other. Massive, man.
It's the brotherhood, the sisterhood.
Yes.
And you know what, man? I think once you get into it as well, like, let's be honest, most people when they watch fights, or after KOs, knockouts,
blood.
Whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Blood and guts.
We get that. But you know what? And a lot of people are like, oh, stand them up, especially when the fight's ever on the ground. Let's just talk MMA for a second, right? You start doing grappling, like yourself, whether it's jiu-jitsu, wrestling, you'll find a deeper appreciation for it when you're watching it, because you don't understand how hard it is.
It's so fucking...
you watch like someone like Khabib.
Yeah.
Or even Tyron Woodley. Like, he cops shit now at the moment.
Tyron Woodley 10 years ago.
That's right. When he's prime, when he was actually the champ, the welterweight champ, he was the king, man, and he's a good wrestler.
Great wrestler.
Even Askren, we understand what happened to Askren. Great wrestler.
Old Askren, yeah.
Yeah, old Askren, when he was in 1FC and Bellator as well. Yep. He's legit. Right, we understand he copped the knee, but guys like him, Usman, Mate, when they wrestling and they're grappling, the amount of strength and the explosiveness it takes for them to be on top, it's impressive to get a KO. We understand it. But a lot of the time as well, obviously there's an importance in that because they've got to hit hard.
Yep.
They've got to be very accurate. The exact timing. Yeah. But with your wrestling and everything else, it's another game because it's literally like make or break. And we've seen a lot 100%. of guys get taken to the ground and it's just like
strikers get dominated. McGregor, case in point, man. He like Khabib. I met some guys. So Khabib and his team came to Sydney a couple of years ago, and I met some boys that met Khabib and his team, and I'll never forget one of the guys said to me, he goes, bro, so a couple of Sydney guys were wrestling with these Dagestani wrestlers, and he was saying to me, he goes, man, these boys, their grip strength is on another level. Like it's not like normal. It's they grab you, man, and they grab you, and they fucking grab you. And that's what a lot of people don't realize either. When you're wrestling or you're rolling, the guy's just not sitting on you, but he's trying to kill you. Right?
That's right.
He's trying to shut off your air supply. He's trying to put your lights out, literally.
That's right.
He's trying to stop everything you're doing. And that burns a lot of energy because he's using energy. You're trying to keep that distance. It is very challenging. And not only that, you got to add, if you go back to MMA, you got to add strikes into it. You've got to add everything, dirty boxing. You've got to add so much. And that's what I say the risk for reward is not there. The risk is so high. Like you could be grappling, he could stamp on your foot and you break your toe and it could send you into a world of pain. Like there's so much that goes into it. So I really respect that combat sport, that art form. Mate, it's very difficult.
Jiu-jitsu, man, and it's been biased because obviously we both have love for it and we both have passion for it. It's really stepping up at the moment. Like it's been there for a while, obviously, since, Hoist Gracie and UFC 1 going all the way to the end. We understand it goes back a while, right? But places like, organizations like, I'm pretty sure you might be familiar with Flow Grappling.
Yeah.
Amazing organization, what they're doing for jiu-jitsu, especially no-gi.
Yeah.
Like you got the Gordon Ryans, you got the Craig Jones.
Gordon Ryan, man, wow.
Mate, what they do for jiu-jitsu at the moment is amazing. You go onto YouTube and you check out any of their content. They'll upload a lot of free content as well as, being able to subscribe to their stuff. And, mate, when you see what a lot of these athletes do, like whether it's like the Danaher Dev Squad or Daisy Fresh, you watch a lot of what they do. And these guys are bloody athletes, right?
Was it like training regimes and how they sort of get into...
Just their lifestyle, just how much energy and time they put into, like, especially when they're a specialist, right?
Yeah.
Because MMA, like you said, you need to know all these different aspects, boxing, grappling, everything else. But being a specialist, even Rogan's mentioned it before, that's like another level, right? Like when you're specialized in one...
Oh, bro.
One master, like it's yeah.
Isn't it when you meet a black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt, you're like, fucking a professor from Brazil and he's a black belt and you're like, bro, this guy could literally kill me. Yeah. And it's years of the other thing with jiu-jitsu is it's very repetitive. It is very, like you want to learn a move, you don't just look at it once and you go, yeah, cool. Oh, show me one more time. Yeah, mad. You practice the same move for the whole 10, 15 minutes.
Repetition.
It's repetition. And not a lot of people like repetition.
You have to.
That's
Drilling's important.
Drilling's huge, bro.
Most people like always the sparring aspect because everyone just likes rolling around having fun. But even my professor is like, like what makes a good, jiu-jitsu artist or a practitioner is the repetitions. Like
Correct.
without your drills, your rolling, your sparring means nothing.
Bro, David Goggins, great example. Mate, that guy is relentless. He doesn't stop. He keeps doing whatever he has to do to make himself more uncomfortable. And that's how he keeps achieving what he's achieving. I look at his photos and his feet are all fucked up and I think, yeah, all right, bro, just have a beer, man. Just take it easy. Yeah. But it's like that mindset, that mindset of just never stopping and always constant, that drilling aspect. Because we as humans by nature are lazy, right? This is another thing I've learned over the last 12 months. We're getting lazier, right? Like your phone used to be used to make phone calls and to text message, right? And then it started sending and receiving pictures and songs. And then it started sending photos and videos. And then it started downloading things. And now it's at the point where you don't really have to do much besides own a phone. And I say lazy because I could order food from my phone straight to me. I could buy a car. I could buy a home. I could buy pretty much anything in the world. I could buy NFTs. I could buy all this stuff through the phone. And instead of us training ourselves to get up and get it, we'd just rather get it and order it, Which is a really slow and steady, gradual pull away from unlaziness. I think it's pulling us into that lazy element. And as we progress and as you have children, you know, you're lazy. You're tempted to be more lazy. It's easier. Just fucking throw the TV on. Just give them what they want. And that lazy reinforcement sitting there. It's almost just festering, you know. Mm-hmm. So when you look at jiu-jitsu or combat sport, even training, gym, it's easier for me just to go, am I going to walk up those stairs and train? I'm just going to go home and just kick it. Yeah, I'll just go home. Am I going to call the gym and say, no, I'm just going to go home? Am I going to call that guy? I'll just go home. Yeah. And that mindset, I don't blame it on anyone. We all have to be accountable for our own actions. But as a society, we're moving lazier and lazier as the years progress. Like the technology is improving to make us less, to require less of us, you know? Like I heard Elon Musk say it. He said, all input is error. All input is error. Now, as a business, if you're Coca-Cola and you're producing 50 million bottles of Coca-Cola a day, all input is error is a great concept because you want to have less people slowing the conveyor belt down. And I agree. All input is error. Like if you have to do something 3 times, you're wasting time. It's not productive. But you can't apply that concept to life, right? Because we are starting to move in that direction. All input is error. Cars can drive you now without you needing to drive.
That's right.
And I'm looking at, okay, there's a certain part of driving which I enjoy, right? It doesn't matter what car. There's a certain part of just being free behind the wheel, no one next to me, no one behind me, just me in my car by myself, listening to what I want, being free. Driving a car constantly, it's probably doing something good for your cognitive functioning. I'm not a doctor, I can't say it will. But I'd imagine it's learned behavior that your body's...
Hand-eye coordination.
Correct. A couple of other little bits and pieces, you know. Patience. You learn a lot of patience on the road in Sydney. Plenty of patience.
Especially on the M4.
Mate, just in Sydney. But we are moving into like all input is error like mindset as humans, which is really, really scary. I remember seeing somewhere on Instagram who was it? Some rapper or DJ. He was walking his dog and his dog was in like a little capsule with wheels and the dog was he was controlling it with his remote and he was recording it. Someone's got a photo of him doing it and it's like, bro, walk the fucking dog. Yeah. You know what I mean? I only got money. Yeah. Walk the dog. Yeah, the dog's getting lazy. And that's what I find scary, man. The concept of moving away from having to do the work. I've been a victim of it myself, you know? Even when the missus is tired and fuck it, let's just get Uber. Or there's always an easier way out, you know, which we always look for as the first turning point. Mm-hmm. So I've learned, man, that we as humans by nature are just drawn more to what's easier based on the fact that we can now do everything from our phones, from the convenience of everything.
What is it? Choosing the path with the least resistance, right?
The path of least, yeah. Well, that's right. That's what we're doing as humans. We do that by default, right? Mm-hmm. It's much easier. It's much simpler. I'll train tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. Yep. And I'm saying, as being someone, I'm just speaking truth, man. I do this constantly. It happens all the time.
It happens.
I attribute a lot to my lack of sleep and my children. Again, excuses, but I'm very aware of it, very accountable for it, and I know where my pitfalls are. Whereas a lot of people go through life not thinking that anything's wrong. I don't know about you. I'm constantly battling myself, my brain. Always, it's always a battle, bro. You have to train. Oh, fuck, I can't be bothered. It's always this. It's like a war zone going on every day. Just and I think if you start from the morning, the small little 1%ers, and you start slowly breaking down those all inputters error walls, you slowly start uncovering and becoming a better person. Mm-hmm. And attribute that to jiu-jitsu because it's like, what are you doing, 2-3 days a week?
Yeah, so I split it up. It's usually 3 days jiu-jitsu, 3-4 days weight training.
Most people wouldn't care for that program.
And if I'm on holidays, I usually double up and do one or either in the morning, the other one in the night time.
Yeah, see, I'm on holidays, just give me beer. I don't. I'm joking. No. But that's what I mean. It's a life, bro. You've made the choice to make it your life.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic because some people would replace that with cigarettes.
That's right.
Or some people would replace that with porn or it's gambling or cocaine or whatever the fuck it is.
Any other addictive.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
So we are just, bro, I guess to ask how long, because at 16, we'll go back because we sort of skipped over that. You got into the training from your mother-in-law at about 16. But all those years I knew you, I always knew you as like
man, look, man, like I said, growing up, I was always involved in sports, right? Soccer, footy, whatever. There was a period of time between maybe, like if we just bounce around a bit, between 13 and 14, I was out of school for a while. I was just fucking around. I was just, being no good. And I needed a bit of a kick up the arse because I was getting myself into a bit of trouble. And that's the problem, right? When you're a young male, especially we talk, with our experiences of being young males growing up. When you're growing up, you're always kind of looking for that mentor, that role model. And unfortunately for some males, they can get them and lead them down the wrong path.
Yeah.
And my mentors and the people that I looked up to at that point in time in my life weren't the right ones. And luckily for me, growing up, I became fortunate. Got a girlfriend who now is my wife, who I've been with since we've both been 15 years old. And
Crazy.
honestly, God, if that didn't happen in my life might have shaped out a lot different because I was out of school, going with her, meeting her, kicked me up the arse. I got back into school. I finished my education. Through that, I started learning routine, structure. I started disciplining myself. I had extra time on my hand, and with all that extra energy, which a lot of us tend to have, where do you put that? Like you said before, there's different types of addictions that we can take ourselves down.
Yeah.
Whether it be through, external bullshit that's not positive, and plenty of the time, many people take negative paths and routes, right? Luckily for me, I put all that extra energy and time and effort into training because I really wasn't going out. I was I've spoken about it in a couple of my other episodes where I kind of had to force myself to isolate myself to figure out who I was and what my point in life was, right?
Interesting.
Because and like I said, and I bounce around a bit and I fall victim on my own podcast. I do it as well. I go around a lot of
others. Oh, no, you're tired. You're trying to keep it up here. I'll go back to that.
But you know what? And this is why I say, like, if you try to figure out what it is that you're doing in life and exactly what you're trying to achieve, then you can have a better, mindset on your future, what it lays out. And why I was inspired by you, for example, just take it here for a second, is that you figured out what you wanted to do. You didn't just copy what everyone else was doing because look, it's easy, like you said. We can fall victim to being lazy, go to work 9 to 5. Oh, you think that's your life now.
Yeah.
Because you went to work, everything else you do can just be a cheat.
Yeah.
And when I mean a cheat, it means you can just go home, slob out on the couch.
That's the word, right? The cheat.
And that is, right? Because you can push back and say, oh, well, I worked hard. Well, did you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who works hard. People that work hard are people that are usually in landscaping, construction sites. That's hard work. Go do one of those jobs because if you think being behind a desk is hard, go do that. That's hard physical labor.
It's very hard.
Right?
Plus, you got to think. It's not just physical; it's mental as well. Right. There's a lot of Anyways,
and that's what I'm saying. That's hard work, right?
Yeah.
So when those guys come back, I see a lot of guys that still do hard work and still put the time and effort into empowering and bettering themselves, right?
Yeah.
It's easy, like you said, to be lazy, fall victim to your own bullshit excuses. Because let's face it, we all come up with excuses. Even me to this point in the day, sometimes I wake up in the morning, like you said, crap sleep, children, whatever. But I know what the feeling of failure is because I had it through my life. I had it through as a child.
That's key, bro.
I had it as a teenager.
Key.
If you don't know what the feeling is, right? If you don't know what the feeling is to fail, if you don't know what the feeling is to have a shit life, and look, I'm not going to give you this stereotypical, everyone, like you go watch on TV, for example, like entertainment-only TV shows, everyone's like, I grew up in the ghetto. No, I didn't grow up in the ghetto. I didn't have this hard life. But some of the choices that I made made it hard.
Yeah.
And I know what the failure felt like because it took me a long time to rebound and bounce back from that.
Yeah.
Luckily, my wife and my mother-in-law came into that picture, and that's what you kind of need sometimes, especially as a young male that's coming up in this world, in our life in general. Me and you, look, we did have a hard growing up. We know what exactly it was growing up in Sydney.
Yeah, fucking earth.
Right? It's not easy. And for some people it might be, and some people it isn't. And for me, unfortunately, it wasn't. But I had to isolate myself from going out. I didn't do much for many years. I really just tried to figure myself out, get in touch with who I was, what I wanted to be, and where I saw my life going.
And what does that involve?
Way before even my kids were around.
So you say isolate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
not like lockdown isolation, right? That didn't come until 15 years later.
No. But it's key. It's funny you say that. Like it's important because there's a lot of noise, right? Especially today.
Too much noise.
Especially today.
This is a distraction.
It's very noisy.
That's the noise.
You remember when we were young, man? This was not a problem.
That wasn't.
It was the least of our problems, right? Like I still remember. The boys would just rock up to your house sometimes, because no one had phones. Or you call their house phone, they don't answer, we go there.
I do.
And life was very different. The noise we have now, because I think kids growing up, 15-year-olds today, have got it so hard. like a lot harder. Just with this. This creates a lot of unnecessary noise, which we never had to deal with. You know, at school, yeah, you had your issues and whatever. Growing up, you dealt with your shit. It was a bit more grow up with the street sort of thing. Like you're outside more. Your parents don't really know they are. They can't really call you. You know what I mean? It was different. Mum drops you off at your mate's house. Are you there? Yeah, I'm there.
Everyone knows where you are now.
Exactly. The difference was there was an element of, what am I going to do today? I'll ring him. He's like, okay, what are you doing? Oh, yeah. You want to go to the beach? Are you around that? Remember you used to go to the beach? I used to go to Manly with the most random people sometimes because you just wanted to do something. And it was like, what am I going to do? It wasn't like check on social media. Oh, everyone's at Bankstown. All right, we'll go to Bankstown. No, that existed. Yeah. So the pressures we had to face were heaps different, man. I remember MSN Messenger and Bebo.
That's what we started
used to do the dial-up and someone on the phone, you can't use a computer. Those were the times that we went through. That was our we had very small windows of time to use on the internet.
At home, and it didn't follow us outside of the house.
That's right. Whatever. That's a really good point. Because whatever you looked at, whatever you were consuming, stopped as soon as you left.
It was fun. But it didn't take over our lives.
No. This isn't even social media. It's not. It's
becoming more than that, right?
It's a fucking weird concept, bro. Right? Now, to be honest with you, I've only kept my social media for this show because I feel like this is how you can give reach, right? Instagram is the platform for reach. I want people to hear what I'm talking about. I don't want to just do it so I can hear myself every couple of days. I don't need to. I don't want to. I want people to hear it because I feel like I got a message. I got an opinion. I've got things to say which could or could not be helpful, but whether it is or isn't my problem. I just want to get it out there. But what it's done, they've revolutionized the way we do things. Business is on Instagram. You can go on the tab. I didn't realize this, honestly, not too long ago. Not that long ago I realized there's a shop button. And there's all T-shirts and fucking, I've been looking at four-wheel drive stuff. There's all bull bars and all that stuff. I'm going, what the Instagram sell? They got a shop?
Yeah, Instagram, yeah.
Instagram have gone from, do you remember when people used to post like photos of trees with leaves falling and it was the weird fucking filter?
That's why I was trying to figure out Instagram for the first time.
That's what Instagram was, bud. Yeah, Instagram wasn't even Facebook.
That's right.
It was just, you put up a photo and people will go, yep, like it. Mm-hmm. Facebook was almost like that, but you had a bit more of a communication platform. Bro, Instagram now, people kill themselves because of it. Women are depleting their bodies to look like these models because they're worried, because they cannot be comfortable in their own skin. And this is the other thing, man. It creates this false sense of everything's going well. And I always hear people talk about this. Always hear, whether they're famous or not, they always talk about Instagram's not real and all that. And we know that. But bro, look at anyone's page, particularly females. Sorry, girls, but particularly females.
Young females in general.
You won't see one bad photo of them. You will not see one blemish. You will not see one pimple. You will not see one flaw in their photos. Every photo is pristine to a T. It's all perfect. Their bodies are perfect. Their bust is perfect. Their ass is perfect. Their toes are painted. Everything is perfect. And then you see a photo of someone that's got an imperfection and you're like, oh, that's ugly. And we are so used to doing that by default. Like you see it's a very, very, very concerning subject, a very concerning platform. It's driving the wrong message, you know? I'm sort of getting over it, man. I don't know the point anymore. What point is it? What's the point of Instagram, right? You tell people how you feel, then people like it or people agree with you. And people respond. And then what? You do it the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It's like, what the fuck is the point? What is this achieving? Yeah. All right, you want to send a message out. But it doesn't just stop at a message, you know? Then you want to sort of, I'm speaking from experience. You see your following start growing. You see a bit more interest in what you're doing. You're like, oh, okay, I like this. It's that little dopamine, that little, follow, like. And it's funny, the words, follow, like. Follow. What's following, bro? Yeah. Following. Yeah. It's what we were told to not do as children growing up. Do not follow. Do not do what everyone else is doing. Like. What the fuck is like?
But what's that? See, what's that finger poke?
What's that? It's like,
What does that remind you of?
fucking
The pokies.
yeah. But
Right.
it's that dopamine. I didn't think about pokies.
But that's what it is. It's an addiction.
But isn't it funny? Most apps now are double tap to like now, right? Instagram started it, the LinkedIn and all these other platforms started. Everything's like double tap.
Yeah.
You download some random apps like double tap to
But
like.
this is like I said. This goes back to pokies because we've been subjected to things like this for many years.
That's right.
They know how to make humans like. Obviously, this kind of sounds a bit conspiratorial, but
That's all right.
Right,
You're on
like-
the right channel.
listen, like they know how easy it is, right, to make us addicted. The tapping, right, the noise. That's how they get applications addicted to young children,
Yeah.
right? It's the noise. It's the little reward system, right?
The sound.
Playing games.
Yes.
Oh, you've just earned this trophy. You've earned
Yes.
this, right? It's the tapping. Oh, I get to,
Dopamine.
like it's like that. It's like why does that mouse keep trying to go, right?
It's so true, man.
See, right? It's all that. Young females in general, there is a statistic that's out there that said that there's a lot of suicides in young females because of that. They're always subjected to imperfection, right?
Bro, isn't bullying
That's right.
the online bullying is worse than the physical bullying?
That's right.
Now, I remember in school there were bullies. I was actually a victim of a bully once. Believe it or not, it wasn't even a bully actually. What am I saying? We were mucking around. He punched me in the temple, and I dropped. It was the first time I ever got dropped. First time I ever been punched. And I woke up, and my mate was standing over me, screaming, like literally about to kill him. But the concept of bullying in itself, physically, is very daunting as a kid. Like if you're a small kid, wears glasses, bro, red flag. Sorry, man. Get the contacts out, cuz your people are going to come for you. You know what I mean? But these people, the physical pressures, they would cop the physical abuse. People take their shit. People tease them. Teasing is a very, very fucking very bad thing to do to someone. I just cop out a gap.
And that's right. And this is the world we grew up in, right?
It's the world we grew up in. Oh, you got a gap. Oh, you got a gap. Every time dentist, can you close the gap? It's going to close. My whole life went through life, right? If I was subjected to that online as well, remember too, our online friends are not the same as kids. I have people on my platform I've never met in my life, bro. But I'll talk to them like we're best mates. And I'll tell you, all through this whole pandemic has linked a lot of people together that don't know each other.
Yeah.
But even like you put a photo up of something funny and you're sharing it with people you don't really know. And I say that with all the utmost respect. You don't know these people well enough. But as a small child, a 15-year-old girl or a 14-year-old boy or whatever, this is their group. And the bullying goes on another level when it's online for these kids. And this is the problem, man. There is it's starting to affect the kids, it's starting to move into the children. And that's why I think things like jiu-jitsu are very important. Mm-hmm. Really important. A kid that gets bullied. You ever seen the video? It's beautiful video. There's a clip of a kid who was getting bullied by this big dude, bully. And there was like the wording on the video was like bully gets owned or something. And he was like, you could tell he was a bully too. And this young kid grabs him and like throws him, like hip tosses him and just gets on top of him and fucks him up. I was like, yes, good on ya, and I get, that's where I think jiu-jitsu is really important, because when we were kids, bro, how many people were doing martial arts when you were a kid?
Mate, honestly, it really wasn't, and I'll be honest, and it's the truth, UFC has popularized it in a positive way.
Oh, it's definitely popularized MMA. No one knew about MMA until the UFC got on there.
The only thing that might have been close to popularity before that, while before us, was probably maybe in our parents' time, was karate because of Bruce Lee.
Karate, taekwondo, but I'm talking about when we were kids.
Yeah, when we were kids in general, it would have
No one was doing combat sport.
No.
I remember there was always a random kid that had a karate thing on. You're like, what the fuck's this random? You always thought it was weird. People not weird, but it wasn't normal for me. Was like soccer or footy or cricket, right? Because that's what I watched. Where some house, I guess, must be just per household, right? It depends on the parents too. But I never grew up. I watched a bit of wrestling, like WWE.
Same. But
it was never like combat sport. It was never a thing.
No.
Wrestling, the Olympics, you never used to watch it. Never used to watch wrestling. Never used to watch taekwondo. Never gave a fuck. Mm-hmm. It was always soccer. Mm-hmm. I wanted to watch the soccer. I wanted to watch the sprinting. I couldn't give two shits about anything else. So anything else but that. And I was like, now it's like front and center. It's very popular. Yeah. Everyone's doing it. You know, people that I know that I never thought in my wildest dreams that would be doing combat sport are doing it. Remember Lee?
I know. Yeah.
Bro, he's a blue belt.
And Taki.
Yeah. No. Lee Marcelino.
Yeah, Marcelino, yeah.
Yeah, Marcelino. You know Lee and Taki as well. Lee Marcelino, shout out to Lee, my boy.
Shout out to Lee.
Bro, the guy, out of nowhere, I'm doing jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, whoa, this guy, and he's rolling with some heavy dudes. He's not rolling with nobodies. But I learned, man, like, it is welcoming to everyone.
Right.
Doesn't matter gender, doesn't matter what your fucking job is, like you said, doesn't matter what your preference, doesn't matter if you root tree stumps for a living. It does not matter.
Yeah.
And if anyone gives a fuck about what you do on the mats, they're a dickhead.
Yeah.
You know? Like, bro, I remember there was this massive Asian dude rolling with me. He was probably younger than me, but probably 100 kilos. And we're doing the open roll, 5-minute roll after we learned what we were doing. And this guy was just manhandling me, bro. I just could not. The only way I could stop him, so he would like have me in a body triangle, and the only way I would stop him is to grab his wrists. That's the only way I could stop him. He's so much more advanced than I was. Bigger, stronger. And I'm sitting there going, when is this fucking going to end, bro? I'm running out of breath to him. Fuck, this guy's just smothering me. Because people don't understand, people that haven't never done it, they don't, there's another person smothering you. They're putting their dead weight on you. Yeah. That's part of the program. They're putting their weight because that wears you down, gives them a chance to rest so they can make their move. And I'm like, got this 100-kilo Asian dude on me. I'm like, the only thing I could do was grab his wrists, and literally that's how I survived the 5 minutes. Every time I move, I'm just like, no, I'm not fucking letting go of your wrist, boy. But you know, it teaches you so much, man. It teaches you so much. And look, the bullying and the way social media is going, it's just getting worse, bro.
Yeah.
That's sort of why I want my kids to have a sort. I feel like the way we grew up was normal.
Yeah, I think normal is changing, right?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Like, for us, like growing up, like you said, it's true. Martial arts wasn't a big thing.
No,
it was around, but it wasn't a big thing. Especially in our areas, Sydney, Australia, in particular, different countries possibly, but here, not for us. And I think it's a good thing as well, because if young kids or young people in general come up in the system, it helps with confidence. It's a great confidence booster.
Yeah,
and when you are also bringing your child into that network, which is a positive environment, they make friends.
Yeah. They
learn social skills.
Yeah.
Right? They learn what limitations their body has while their body's growing and developing.
Yep.
And they also overcome the stigma of girls and boys.
Oh, that's massive.
Right? Because my daughter,
Forgot
for example, all three of my children do jiu-jitsu, and my daughter's there rolling with girls and boys. And you know what? They don't care. Yeah. Boy or girl. To them, it's just another child. And I think that's amazing because regardless of what their sex is, when they grow up, they're just comfortable together.
Yeah.
Right? It's boys and girls or whatever gender they are. Right? As they grow up, they're comfortable with each other. It's not like, I remember growing up in primary school and they always used to split the boys up and split the girls up. They probably still do. I understand for certain reasons.
Yeah, but why do you think that is?
I don't know, man. And I don't think it's a healthy thing, and that's why I love co-ed schools, especially high schools in general, where they intermix. And I think that's an important thing because I don't think it's good having children be so uncomfortable. Look, once they grow up and they decide who they are, fine. But boys and girls, regardless of their different interests, they should still be able to communicate to each other, even though they're a different sex, right?
Well, all right, let me stop you. I'll say one thing about that. I 100% agree with you. The sexist barriers, they don't need to exist, particularly in sport. Don't. But the only thing I will say, I think there's some level of, there's a point where someone was like, right, there's obviously a big difference between men and women.
Oh, big time.
Right? Testosterone, estrogen.
We understand, yeah.
Massive. I honestly reckon that's why there was boys and girls split, because of the difference. Like, I don't want to offend people. Men by nature are just bigger, right? More testosterone, which results in bigger mass. Unfair advantage, right? It's not putting any shit on any women at all. And there are women that are stronger than men.
There's biology.
Millions of women that are stronger than men.
100%.
But by default,
look at Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, great example. But by default, Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, true.
By default, I think they would have had that separation just to allow for it to be fair competition between girls and boys and boys. But it's beautiful when you get martial art. Bro, when I've rolled with a girl, there's no sexual element to it. You don't think, I'm going to grab her. You don't think that at all.
The least of your worries.
At the least, bro.
Especially if they're more experienced and you're just trying to survive.
1,000,000%. It's almost like, that's also very daunting too, bro, because you've got a woman dominating
That's right.
on you.
You got to suck it up.
Yeah. And it's like, whoa, this is not if you're one of those weird sex people that like to get, those weird people like
strange people.
all that fucking weird shit. Like walk me around with a dog leash. Go and do jiu-jitsu and just fight against the chicks, bro. And you'll love it.
Mate,
You'll bust a nut every week.
I've rolled with plenty of females.
And they're great,
even coming up. And a lot of them gave me a hard time. Like, whoa. Like,
don't respect, man.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing. And these are women that have grown up in the system with guys that aren't intimidated.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing because I've got 2 daughters. I've got a son. And I think the best thing, which is empowering for women, is coming up and being able to say, I don't care if he's a boy, I'm going to get in there and get it done.
Oh, bro, you know
that's
what?
the best thing.
I agree to a certain degree, particularly when it comes to like martial arts. Like I don't think men and women should be fighting each other.
No.
Like Henry Cejudo floated the idea of fighting. Just shut up, bro. Because it doesn't matter if he wins or loses, he's going to look like
on a training aspect, we mean, not an actual.
Like but I think the problem with what we're talking about, right, is that gender barrier no longer exists. That gender barrier has been washed into this fluidity of, he, she, blah, blah. What you see someone's Instagram, it's like she, her. Like, well, no shit, cuz you're a girl.
Yeah.
Like, all right, she, her. I think this whole pronouns.
Yeah, I don't care.
Brother, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It bothers me. That's why I care. It bothers me because I don't get it. And it bothers me because it's like, well, you're trying to reverse what we know as science today. Like you were born biologically as a man with a penis. It doesn't matter if you cut it off. If you buy an ice cream cone and the ice cream falls out, it still means it's an ice cream cone, right? You're not going to put a pile of shit on there and lick it. You're going to put another. It doesn't change what you are. Yeah. And by us trying to change what we are, I saw a fucking great meme today. This girl, it was like a cartoon of a girl with her parents. And I said, I like the color blue and I like sports. And the mum commented saying, oh, great, let's book in the surgery. As in, like, let's do the change, which is so true, right? If a girl, like, if your daughter was to give you a hint of something that she likes to do, which is a sport that boys play or something, bro, my sister grew up with 14 boy cousins and played footy with us just alike to the boys, and she grew up as a woman. She's a mother of 2 kids. It doesn't mean that they want to have a dick if they want to play a fucking male sport or they want to play a sport with men. It doesn't mean that.
Well, growing up, look, but
that's what it's changed to, Matty.
The term for us, especially for women that did like that, and I know what
tomboy.
Tomboy, exactly. That's all it was. And I know a lot of them, and they're cool with it. They just like sports, right?
But it shouldn't be called that, bro.
No, it shouldn't. They're just,
they're just a girl that likes to fucking play sport.
That's right. And you know what? For me, man, growing up as well, and like we were talking about how it was for us growing up to kids now. I think there's a good thing for children that's grown up now because they're a lot more open than what we were. And I'm not going to say I wasn't open. It's just things are a lot more different now. Times are changing. Everything evolves. Technology, people, humans, everything changes, right? We get that. But as I get older, like we said, there's links in your brain that obviously opens up as you become a father or a mother, right? There's things that we understand now that we didn't understand before we were parents. It's just a strange thing that happens. We don't know what it is.
You don't know. You don't know it.
Don't get
happens.
it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, man, I just treat everyone as a human being.
That's how you have to be, bro.
Right? I don't care. Do whatever you want in life. Straight up. Be yourself. Amen. Because you know what? Most of the things that we do in life is behind closed doors. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, but Matty, the problem is your truest statement you could have said all day. Everything that you do is behind closed doors, right? But unfortunately, what people are doing behind closed doors is being publicised. Take gay marriage, for example, in Australia, right? Whether you agree with gay marriage or not, this is not, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about everyone that's listening to this. Whether you agree with gay marriage or not is not the point. The point is the government gave you the choice and said, do you want to vote for this or not? You don't have to vote, but if you want to vote, that's how you do it. I was like, why are you getting involved as a government with people's choice of sex? Like, I get as from a religious point of view that the term gay marriage does not exist in a Christian or even a Muslim household, right? Gay marriage, it's a very far-fetched concept if you've been brought up religiously, right? But I have no issue with people calling whatever they want to call gay marriage and doing it in their own time. It doesn't have to be a legal thing. It shouldn't even be a legal thing. It shouldn't even matter. The government shouldn't have to say, oh, well, we want to make it legal. No, government, that's not up to you to decide, mate. If a guy wants to bone another guy, that's for him to decide, bro. And if they want to get married and do all that stuff, I'm at the point where I can disagree with it, and I will disagree with it, and I do disagree with it. I have my reasons. Like, I believe every household needs a male and a female. I think it's just the way that it was designed. I can't fuck with the way things were designed. Since the beginning of time, it's always been man and woman that have raised the family, because the woman gives the children and the man does what he has to do in terms of shoots his shot and everything else.
Hopes for the best.
Yeah, hopes for the best, right? But the concept, the process, since the beginning of time, look at all the animals. There's a handful of animals that fuck random animals that are the same sex randomly. I think it's a seahorse. Randomly fucks another guy. But generally, the insertion of the penis into the vagina is consistent across all animals, all mammals throughout the world. And it's always male and female. And the female always reproduces. Actually, no. I think seahorse, again, the male reproduces. But small instances where you'd have to go, right, God's obviously got this figured out. He's made this in a way. But now today, like lesbians, and again, I'm not talking negatively towards anyone here, but where I sort of get, and I'm just sharing where I stand on this. It's like, well, two lesbians want to have a child. They get a random guy to inseminate one of the women, and then they've got a child. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I don't believe that that's right? But that's not for me to go and publicize and say, nah, you're all idiots, you're all stupid. I'm not going to hate anyone that's gay for that reason. I can oppose everything that's going on, which I will, and I do. I just don't agree. I don't think that's healthy for the child. That's my opinion. But I'm not going to change the way I feel about gays. Yeah. I'm not going to see a gay person and go, oh, you want to have fucking kids, you filthy butt. No. Yeah. Bro, these people, transgender people that are dealing with, I think if someone's transgender, they're in a position where there's something going on. Something's happened in their life. People that abuse children. It fucking pains me to say this, bro. People that abuse children, bro, 99% of the time, it's not their fault. They were abused. So it's very easy for us to go, fuck those pedos. I detest anything pedophiles do. I don't even think about it. But there's a reason, man. There's a reason why these people are acting the way that they do. And as a society, we don't try and stop it and go, no, bro, look, there's something wrong with that. Like people that are really morbidly obese are being praised. No, bruv, you're a fucking cheeseburger away from death. You know what I mean?
I know.
Pedo, bruv, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
We need to identify the problem before you strike. There's clearly an issue.
Mate, I think people don't like hurt anyone's feelings these days. And the problem is, I'll give you an example. Right?
Nailed it.
I'm not a complete fan of her music, but I praise what she done. And I mentioned on one of my episodes, it's someone like Adele, right? She went through a major transformation.
Oh, massive, bro.
Amazing.
Massive,
right?
yeah.
She was obese and she transformed her body.
She was a heifer.
She lost a lot of weight. And then she got bashed, well, not bashed physically, but, through social media. Of course, that's the place because no one can see you face to face and tell you, right? Yeah, keyboard warriors. And all her obese audience was like, we thought you were one of us, this and that.
Hey, it creates a cult-like environment, doesn't it?
And it's like, wait a minute. So you're not happy for me that I'm doing something better for myself. This should inspire you to join me on this journey and follow me along. Look at someone else. I'll give you another example. Great actor. I love him. He's so funny. Jonah Hill.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
His roles were starting to, deplete, like kind of.
Where's he gone?
That's right. He came back into this picture recently. He's got this new Netflix film with Leonardo, but he went back chubbier.
Yeah.
Right? But as soon as he started losing weight, everyone's like, oh, well, his movie roles were starting to go away. Why is that? Same as our own Australian Rebel Wilson.
Can't recognise her now.
Why is that? She's lost a lot of weight. Her roles were coming in because of her weight.
Hey, funny story. She started on Fat Pizza.
That's right. Tula. Yeah, that's right.
But it's crazy, bro. Like, even going through school, you're always taught that pyramid of health, The pointy end was always the bad stuff, and you get...
the pie chart.
The pie chart, or the pyramid of good food and all that stuff. It's crazy how we are taught now, and I say we, like as a society, we're not taught. It's not like we're in a classroom and the teacher's like, you cannot call fat people fat. It's not that. We are ushered, we are prompted by the medias and the platforms to not to call these people fat. Some of them go against guidelines if you were to call an obese person fat on an Instagram platform, they'd probably get a community guideline warning, right? An obese person is fat. Let's call it what it is. They're fat, right? But by calling them fat doesn't mean you hate them. All right, if you call them a fat dog, it's a different story, right? But I guess I'm trying to be very general, and it's a very stupid example. But
that's good.
But like, if you're,
I get what you're saying.
These people should feel the burden that they're carrying right? Because they're carrying a burden. They're eating for some reason. There's something wrong. Something's not right.
Emotionally wrong.
Something emotionally is setting them off. Yeah, they might have issues. They might have thyroid problems. They might have issues losing weight. They might have whatever the fuck the issue is. But there's always a solution. The solution is not to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. It's not keep eating more.
That's right.
You got to stop it, bro.
That's right.
And as a society, we prompt them to continue. We don't stop it. We don't put an end to it. Like in Australia, we don't try and stop gambling or drinking. We encourage it. It's all over our sports, all over our platforms. It's all over everything.
Advertisements. It's like, oh, go have a cold one with the boys.
Exactly. And it says drink responsibly.
And you know what burns me the most, man, is, look, I've got nothing against if you want to have an outlet once in a while, do a punt. But it's just like the terminology they use in commercials, it's like...
It's acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. Like they make the commercials very appealing to the boys to have a punt on like a, or you see any of the TAB commercials, it's like all the boys together having a laugh. It's like...
And they're on their phone like, oh, I just won.
Yeah. You know what
It's stupid, bro. It's fucked.
And then all the boys, and I know because I'm in a lot of those groups as well, and I don't do it myself, but I know a lot of people that do it, and each their own. I don't tell anyone that's a bad thing. Just to me, I can see that it can also go down a wrong path as well. I'm not saying you have to be straight 180, but there's...
No, but there's a reason you choose not to. I get it, man. I get it, bro. Like, let's take what you're allowed to do in this country, right? Let's take gambling and alcohol. I know someone personally who almost ruined their life with gambling. I know, but it was a lot of money too. It's not hard to see the effects gambling has on a household. No one that is a seasoned gambler is ever smiling. They're always fucking angry. You see the people that you walk into the pokers and they're playing two machines at once. There is a clear problem in this country. But instead of the government trying to actually put an end to it, they encourage it. It's all over. You watch rugby league. Wait until the season starts again. And you'll see Stradbrokes, Ladbrokes, Sportsbet, TAB, Neds. Every single team has a different company sponsoring them, a different gambling company. So when I think about it, we grew up with the TAB. You walk in, you buy your slip, you bet on your dog. You get, as a general thing, that was always around. That only exists for the oldies, right? The generations that are looking at gambling now are the younger ones. Our kids, bro. Our kids, when they start watching sport properly, like think about when they start watching rugby league or cricket, what are the two biggest components that advertise on those platforms? It's gambling and it's alcohol. And what these gambling and alcohol companies are doing is they are planting little seeds in our kids' brains. And if we happen to gamble every now and then, I'll have a punt on Sportsbet every now and then, especially if there's a good UFC card on. I'll do a $10 multi and I'll try and win. I'll be like 150 grand multi. I'll try and pick it. It never wins, Matt.
No.
Never wins. But I couldn't give a fuck. I don't sit there and go, oh my God, okay.
Yeah. But the idea of seeing that possibility, it's like,
yeah, well, if that comes good, it's a 50-50 thing. It's $10. I don't give a shit. I'm not doing it every week. I'm not doing it every day. And honestly, most of the time, if I log into my sports, there's probably $5 or $10 sitting there anyway. It's not my life. I've got better things to do.
Yeah, you got discipline.
Yeah, but you got to know when to stop, bro. You just got to know what's good for you and what's not. All right. If you like to smoke weed, I like to smoke weed. There's a point where you got to realize that it's not too much of it's not good for you. If you like to eat McDonald's, if you like to drink, if you like to exercise, too much of it's not good. You could probably hurt yourself. It's just proportioning everything in a balance to have life that makes sense. And I think when you have children, 50% of your time is already attributed to them. You lose 50% of your time, right? So you already got to block out 50. The rest of the 50 is for work, for your wife, for your life, for your health, for your wealth. That's the remainder. And you got to make it work within that 50% bracket. On top of that, you got to guide your children. I don't want my son to think gambling and drinking is normal. I don't want him to grow up in an environment where that's normal. I don't want, because it's not. It's not normal, bro. It's not right for the brain to gamble. That feeling, you remember playing the pokies? I still remember the first time I ever won big. I won $2.5 grand once from a $50 note. And I was playing at, bro, I would have been 18, 19. I was playing at One World in Parramatta. And we were walking out. I'd have a few drinks, walking out of the pub, and my mate goes, hey, someone put $50 in this machine. And I just pulled out, so I'm like, yeah, all right, fed it with a 50. Started playing, I think, $3 or something hits. And I won. And I won. I was like $2.5 grand from a $50 note without even trying. I still remember the feeling of seeing all the numbers on the screen and that rush. And I still remember, like, oh my God, I'm getting a check. because they gave me the cash and the check. I was like, oh my
Yeah, I
God.
remember that feeling.
And I was young. I'm like, whoa, $2,500. What are we going to do now? Like giving the boys money. You felt so.
Yeah.
But bro, if that happened to most people, which probably has happened to some people winning a lot of money from a very small amount without even trying, if they can't train themselves to realize that that's never going to happen again, they're always going to be chasing that. It's like people that do cocaine or do pills or do heroin, and they would like that chase that feeling of, wow, I want that feeling again.
The first feeling.
Right. And that's the key with addiction. Mm-hmm. You should know before you do anything that first feeling is never going to happen again. Mm-hmm. It's never ever coming again. Yeah. Right? Doesn't matter what you do.
First feeling with anything, right? It's with anything, any type of rush.
Yeah.
Right? Through
Correct.
gambling.
Yeah.
Through sex.
Yeah.
Right?
Sex, big one. Yeah.
Right. Especially when you for the first time.
But busting a nut's busting a nut, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, busting a nut's busting a nut.
Exactly. But it's like the very first time, it's like, wow, I was like,
it's a game changer. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
It's the same as when you, even fitness, example, right? Because many more years, you try to seek that point where you want to feel that burn, you want to be able to feel that soreness afterwards. Eventually, there's going to be a time where you just like...
You're not sore anymore. You've got to increase your weight, yeah.
Exactly. You've got to change something, right? You've got to change something, right? Yeah. It's like, but these things come and these things go. And it's just like being able to discipline yourself and be able to just say, like, everything in portions, right?
In moderation. Or in balance. Yeah,
moderation,
bro.
That's the word I'm looking for.
My dad used to drum that into my head as a kid. And... I never really understood the value of everything in moderation. Live within your means, he used to say. Live within your means, Ben. Like, but live within my means? What do you mean? Live within my means. And it makes sense. You can't live an extreme life of everything extreme. You know, you can't have... You got to be able to draw create some boundaries, because you got to have boundaries for yourself and for your children too. You got no boundaries for yourself. What the fuck is going to be for your kids?
That's right.
You know, your kids will be eating ice cream at 10:30 every night. And I think a lot of it, when you can discipline yourself, you will see the trickle effect with your family and your kids and your wife and your job. And I see it all the time. You notice when you start training, your distractions start dropping, because you're now in the zone. Mm-hmm. And for that half an hour, that's you, and that's it. And then you get out and you're like, oh fuck! It's almost like you think differently after a little while. Changes everything about you. So man, the aspect of discipline. If I'm going to sum up the last, I don't know how long we were just talking about that subject for, I think discipline is the silver bullet to a lot of our issues. You don't strike me as someone who's shitting themselves over COVID, right? I find you are someone who's sorry, I keep putting my feet up. Someone who's very thorough in their way of thinking. You understand your position. You understand what you're here for. You're dictating your own terms. And it's probably a result of how disciplined you are across the board. And I can see a lot of men wetting themselves over this thing, and they lack discipline in areas of their life. I'm not saying, bro, I lack discipline in many areas. Mm-hmm. But I know what is right and what is wrong. And I use this whole pandemic as an excuse or an example of being able to think for yourself, being able to apply what you know in your heart of hearts as what you want, and just sticking to it and going for it. People were moving like this, right? The needle was moving. We had to move because the way that this whole thing went down. But a lot of people probably still haven't really woken up to what's going on. They're probably still caught up in that we're going to get out of this mindset, which I know we're not getting out of. There's no easy road out of this, bro. This is going to be a struggle, man. This is going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle whether you're vaccinated or not. This is a struggle, because this is not a war on being vaccinated or not. This is a war on the family unit. This is a war on everything that we know as life. Mm-hmm. Ownership of land, ownership of property, ownership of anything is slowly becoming a thing of the past. You'll start to notice it. I'm starting to see it, bro. Things going around like saying that you'll be happy without owning anything. This is sort of what it's heading towards. So discipline's far more important than anything in the next 10 years, bro, because the last 2 years have already uncovered anything. People should be worried.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not to sound daunting or anything. It's just be firm in what you believe in. Be disciplined. Be strong. Because it's gonna come a time. Like, man, jiu-jitsu for me was very interesting, not only for the aspect of becoming a better person, but mate, to be in any situation I'll know how to handle. That's the other reason too, straight out. And I want to be able to teach my kids that. Because there's the way life is throwing itself at us now. You need to be able to hold your own. That's what it's looking like, man. It's like the weak are falling away and the strong are holding themselves together.
You know what you said is very important, man. We take it back to discipline. Like, there's a lot of things you covered, and they're very important.
I tend to cover so.
It's very important what you said. You've touched on a lot of very important things, and a lot of people don't have these conversations or speak about it. And the important things of doing these podcasts is that when you have these conversations, it's very important for a third person to be listening.
Yeah. Because
there's a lot of interesting things that, you know, what's on our minds, what's going on in our society, what's going on in our community, in our own country, right?
Correct.
Now, discipline's a very important thing, and I'll take it back to COVID, for example. During the lockdowns, the most important thing that happened, right, was what decisions and choices people made if they were stuck at home.
Ooh, big one.
Right? Now, this is a very important thing because I got hit up a lot about it. It's like, oh, man, what are you doing? Or what are we training? Because, like, everyone's like, oh, we all can go for a run, right? But when you're locked away for 4 months, the running, the walking,
gets
especially
repetitive.
when you're restricted to a 5K radius, I get it, right? But you know what I did? As soon as I knew work was starting to dry down for myself, I knew I could see the writing on the wall. I warned a couple of my friends. I said, something's happening. My gym shut. As soon as my gym shut, I'm like, this ain't going to be for a week. And this was last year. So because of what happened in 2020, it's weird saying 2022 now.
Weird, bro.
Oh, it's strange.
It's fucking weird.
So when I was
Did someone get a screwdriver and just turn it a few notches forward to make it faster? I don't know.
It was weird. So luckily in 2021, I kind of had 2020 to go on as an example. It's like I saw the writing on the wall. I bought some gym equipment. 2020, I had some, but I sold that. So last year, I bought some equipment. Right? People are like, oh, I had gym equipment, but I just still wasn't motivated. Well, the problem is that a lot of you guys are training in your living room, somewhere where it's too comfortable. So when you're lying on the floor, you just go for a nap. Right? Like, just don't do it somewhere.
Yeah. Uncomfortable.
You need to be somewhere. So I made something of it. I adapted. I didn't want to be training at home because my kids are a distraction.
That's right, yeah.
Right? No offense, but like the reason why you do these things is to escape.
Yeah.
Right? So I invested. My gym was shut. So I was like, you know what? Well, I'm going to put this money, since I've saved it anyway, into a gym. Luckily, I was able to go to my radius, buy some equipment, make my garage into something that I would want to turn up to.
Yeah.
Because let's just face it, if you make just, you know, a couple of things, like you got a dumbbell, kettlebell or something, then maybe it might not be even for myself motivated enough to turn up to that every day. So I made my garage into a mini gym for a couple of months, right? Still there. Got some nice mats. I decorated the way I wanted to put it. I put some posters up.
Beautiful.
Got everything I wanted. So when I turned up to it,
it's you.
I'm proud. Exactly. It's me. Everything in there is my effort. Right? So I'm making it something for myself. So when I turn up there, because everyone, like, after the pandemic is like, man, look, they're like, oh, I've lost so much, but you look the same. Well, why is that? It's not because I'm better than you. It's just because
you're disciplined,
and I adapted.
You adapted,
right? Because you're going to get hit with these hurdles, Benny.
Bro, you know what? It's I actually bought a dumbbell set and a bench press. Not the actual butt, not the seat, the bar and stuff. This would have been 2020, and this was before remember everything was out of stock because everyone bought it all. I bought it before. I thought, man, just in case the gym shut, I'll buy it, right? And I bought it. How many times did I use it, do you think?
Handful.
Once. You know what it was, but it was exactly what you said. It was the comfortability. It was the excuses. It was the lack of discipline. And it was the lack of motivation. And if I look at motivation, we shouldn't strive to get motivated by just seeing some guy talk about something on Instagram. That shouldn't get us motivated. A song shouldn't get us motivated.
No.
Motivation should be a constant thing. You should always, and I'm not saying like you should be walking around, yeah, fucking yeah, like not that. It's like motivation.
Who's going to carry the boat?
It's the mindset, right? It's that. It's go back to Goggins, man. I learned a lot from Goggins. His audiobook is phenomenal. It's phenomenal because a guy narrates it, and then every chapter or so they stop, and he and David Goggins do like a little 3 or 4 minute episode podcast, whatever you call it.
Amazing.
And they recap, and it's phenomenal because David Goggins explains everything.
Favorite audiobook? One
of the best. Goosebumps, bro, thinking about it. Because that was one thing that woke me up to a lot of things, particularly the motivational thing. Because I used to be like, I'm going to save that. oh, I'm going to watch that video next time. And there's a guy speaking over really nice, soft music. If you don't get out of bed in the morning, like, fucking you, I'm getting G'd up, bro. Yeah. That lasts for like 20 seconds. And David Goggins taught me to constantly be looking, to constantly be motivated, to constantly be dissatisfied, and not to be like, I hate my life, I'm not happy, oh, I want that car. It's not. Dissatisfaction is like, I need to get better, I need to improve, I'm always learning. Mm-hmm. And to putting themselves in those uncomfortable positions. But you know, like one thing I'll say I'll do consistently is cold showers. I'll have like a warm shower, normal, and the back end of it, irrespective of the weather, I'm having a cold shower.
That's right.
And I put myself through that uncomfortable feeling, whether it's in the evening or the morning, whatever. And it's something I've consistently done. And I'm now at the point where once the cold water hits me, it's a few seconds and I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm in it. I'm in my zone. And I'm like, the more of this I get, the better I'm feeling. The more cold that hits my skull, the more cold I let touch my body in every part of you're like under your arms, like, oh, it's cold. You let that cold water destroy you and it's like, yeah, okay, I'm cool. I'm sweet, you know? Even this other thing I was watching, that guy Jay Shetty, Indian fella. Monk, yeah. I almost forgot his last name. He says, we always wake up saying, oh, I'm so tired, which we do because you got kids. If you don't wake up tired and you got kids, something wrong with you. Right? You're either giving your kids drugs or your kids are angels or there's something wrong with you. Yeah. But we wake up going, I'm tired. He goes, wake up saying, I'm not tired and see what that does to your state of mind. And I did it the other day, bro. I woke up, I was on the last 2 days. I woke up, man, I was up throughout the whole night, kid crying, trying to put him to bed. The works, bro, like fucking terrible. I woke up and I just felt like I needed like 3 hours of sleep. And I'm like, I'm not tired. I'm not tired. Today I'm not tired. And that day, I remember it was Saturday. I smoked like 2 massive ribs. I had people over. Like it was a massive day, bro. Plus looking after the kids and shit. It was full on day. Very fatiguing. But if I let that get to me, I would have been drinking Red Bulls till the cows come home. I just said, no, I'm not tired. Get the fuck over it. I'm not tired. That, even with the cold shower, man, some mornings it's cold and you get in there. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And the water hits you, I'm like, fuck, it's just water, Ben. It's just fuck. I say this to myself. It's just cold water. It's not going to kill you. Mm-hmm. It's just water. Mm-hmm. Get over it. Mm-hmm. And that pushes me through. That minute or two I'm doing it, it gets me through it. Mm-hmm. My wife, bro, she was talking about doing this juice cleanse for ages. Her friend got onto this juice cleanse. And the juice cleanse is like you basically eat nothing but juice for 3 days. It's water and juice and you can have like pumpkin seeds and very small trace amounts of food, nothing crazy. And she was like, at the last day, it was like the Saturday and she was finishing up on the Sunday. And she's like, you know what? I'm just going to eat something tonight. I'm like, what? Like you've just gone through 2 fucking days of not eating anything. You've only got half a day left and you're going to stop right now. I go, what do you fucking mean? Don't stop. You're at the finish line. She did it. She woke up the next morning. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Because she was like, the whole way through, she wasn't feeling hungry. And then she started feeling hungry towards the end. I'm like, Cindy, do not eat. Yeah. Why are you going to fail? You've come this far. Why are you going to stop? You're going to ruin everything. And the whole idea is you do it for a few days and then that like resets your body. She lost weight from it as well. It was really good. But it was like you've pushed yourself this far and it gets a little bit hard and you're going to jump off and go, you know what? Thanks. I've had enough. I've done it. I'm good. Like, no, don't stop. Go, don't fucking stop. Yeah. See if it's good. That way, if you want to do it again, you know you haven't wasted your time. That's and right. She saw it through. And that's, man, that little push, you know, we need to teach ourselves how to give us, you obviously don't. You give yourself, you already know, you give yourself the push all the time. That's how you are. Bro, people don't realize who you were 15 years ago. Like, packet a day cigarettes, like living however the fuck you wanted to, really, right? You're living however you wanted to.
Do whatever I wanted.
You're doing whatever you wanted. You always seem to be a lot angrier than you are now for some reason. You were an angry dude. You smoked a lot, partied a lot, like you fucking did what most normal kids would do. And if you kept going down the route you were then, you'd probably, I don't know where you'd be today, but
that's right.
To say it, you've developed the ability to discipline yourself, and it's attributed to who you are today. And I think we all need that little element of fucking keep going, bro. Yeah. Don't stop. That little...
I think people just need, like we said, and we've covered in different portions, right? It's the distractions, right? A lot of people are too distracted in their life. Like, one of my goals, now dive more into my goals in a sec, but if you can just limit your time where you're on social media or just on your device, or even just calculate. Apple's great for it because it gives you your screen time and it lets you know exactly.
How good's that?
That's perfect. And it'll give you a little bit of a reality check of how much time you're actually spending on any applications on your phone in general.
Yeah.
If you limit that and just spend more time for yourself, try to figure out who you are, because you will realize eventually, or hopefully you do, that the more time you spend on social media, Instagram, whatever it is, right, TikTok, a lot of what you're watching and what you're seeing will really influence the character that you become and you start to portray.
1,000,000%.
Right? Instead of just putting that to the side, I'm not saying to get rid of it completely, because let's face it, everything we deal with on a daily basis now is paperless. Everything's through technology.
Correct. Yeah.
Same with work. It's all through my mobile phone, whatever.
Yeah.
I get that. You can't completely push away. Technology is great. But you need to figure out who yourself is. When you talk back to who I was growing up, that wasn't who I was, who I am now. But we evolve, right? Like I said, I had to isolate myself for a period of time. I had to kind of figure who myself was. I needed to understand what my capabilities were. Now listen, when I started out, it wasn't as, I'm not saying it's easy now, but it wasn't what it was for me as it is now, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they start the gym or when they ask me for advice and they just start it, I say, listen, the later in life that you start these things, right? I'm going to be honest. It's going to be hard, which is going to be a testament to you if you actually pull through, suck it up, and continue the journey, right? To stay on that path and be able to achieve it. I go to jiu-jitsu. I see, for example, in the gym, people starting their 30s, 40s, 50s. Hats off to you. Good fucking job, because a lot of people make the excuse and just sit their ass at home, but you're in here getting the work done.
Yeah.
Me coming up at 16, 17, it would have been easier for me to adapt and be able to use this as a get myself stuck in this routine, right? Now, it wasn't where I was now. It took me some time experimenting and failing, and being able to learn from those failures is what helps drive you to get yourself back to the gym. Because like we said before, if you don't know what failure feels like, you don't want to experience that. And me, I fucking hate failure, right?
Yeah.
And whether it's failing, just in life in general, right?
Yeah.
Gym, let's use that as an excuse, gym or jiu-jitsu. If they're saying I failed, I go back home, I do my homework on it, and I want to not perfect it, because perfectionism is not a great word, because like we said before, it's also good to have some imperfections, because that's what human beings is. We're not completely perfect.
Correct.
We work on ourselves, try to better ourselves. So by just trying to work on that failure and just get back to it, right? If you don't work on yourself, right, work on the things that you want, like me, I'm doing good with the gym, I'm doing good with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I started another project. As human beings, we need to start projects. I'm doing that with the podcast now. If your mind's not towards something to better yourself and better and just try to understand who you are, instead of worrying about the successes and the riches that come with things and just trying to do it for yourself, do it for how you feel, right? Because this is a lifestyle thing. Like everyone say to me, oh, how much do you weigh or how much do you lift? I don't care about that no more.
It's not important, yeah.
It's not important. It's a lifestyle, because I'll tell you what, it's about how you feel. You ask any older person that's in the gym, right? And I ask a lot of like bodybuilders or anyone that's just bodybuilders in general, and they say, you know what I'm doing it for? Even look at someone like Dorian Yates, right?
Yeah.
Right? He's honestly just doing it now. People like him, it's a lifestyle thing. It's to feel healthy, it's to be around, it's to make sure that they're still putting in the work, a little bit different. Even Arnie, right? He's still doing it. He's changed his diet, but he's still putting the work in, but it's just making sure that he's able to stay on this earth, stay healthy, and just continue doing what he loves.
Bro, it's so true, man. Like, the weightlifting becomes a lifestyle. Lifting weights it's fucking good for you. That's all it is to it. There's nothing else about it. The byproduct of lifting weights is you look good. That's how it should be. Lifting weights, it's like eating apples. They're fucking good for you, right? Lift weights, you feel good, you look good as a byproduct. Unfortunately, we use the look good as the end result rather than the feel good as the end result. So everything about it pains me. And men today are more infatuated by themselves and how they look than how they feel, right? We're more interested in what the shell looks like rather than what's underneath, which is fucking insane, right? Like, why would you want to have a 10-pack but then be super depressed inside? That's right. What's the point? That's right. You didn't get a head job and you'd be so depressed. You're like, you know what I mean? It's you're not correcting anything. It's the problem we as men too. But that goes back to the laziness aspect, man. Men, I feel like want to look good because they're either insecure or they couldn't land chicks as a younger guy and they want to land chicks. And the only way they can land chicks is to look good. Where, bro, look good. But again, it should be the byproduct, you know? I don't know anyone that's gone into jiu-jitsu to look good, but most people that I know that do jiu-jitsu look good, right? Obviously they train, it's another. But generally, if you just did 3 days a week jiu-jitsu, by default, your body would be good. You'd look good. The pulling and the pushing and the twisting, you're sweating, it's mate, using every muscle in your body, you look good.
That's right.
But you don't do it for that. It's the byproduct.
That's right.
And there's one thing I learned, bro, many years ago, and it stuck by me, and it always will. And it was a little saying, and it was, you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change.
Nice one.
And that, someone wrote it. I don't fucking know. I don't deserve any credit for it. But it stuck to me, bro, because I'm like, you know what? It's very true. It's almost like the glass half full, glass half, whatever, empty thing. But you change the way you look at something, and what you're looking at will change. It's very simple, man. You can look at life and go, life is hard. I'm obese, and I'm this, and I've got no job, and you can keep empowering those thoughts, and that will just keep driving you into a bigger hole, into a bigger pit. Whereas if you change the way you're looking at that situation and you apply a different perspective, like the morning thing, I'm not tired. No, I'm not fucking tired. I'm not actually tired. I think I'm tired, but I'm not. I'm only tired because I tell myself I'm tired. When you think about it, because the way the body works, by you doing this, your brain is telling your fingers to move. Your fingers are not moving. So if you tell yourself you're tired, it's your brain telling your body that you're tired.
That's right.
I heard it was some SAS cadet ex-dude, saying, when you're tired, you're only 40% tired. You got another 60%. I'm like, wow. It's very true, bro. Like you think about a set, you know, you get to the 6th or 7th rep, you're like, oh, fuck, I got none left. And your mate's like, come on, bro, you got this. And you're like, fuck. And he gives you a little push. And you're like, fuck, I got it. And that little 2-finger push is meant to carry 80 kilos. No, it's you, bro. Yeah. You know, it's you, and you're someone just saying, no, you got this, man. You can do it. That changed the way you look at things. That's got me through a lot, man. Changing the way I look at situations. We've all had our experiences in life. We don't have to sit here and explain to everyone what good and bad and ugly has happened to each other, but everyone's experiencing, and he's going to experience good, bad, and ugly. It's going to happen.
That's right.
Chock, man. Now, my mate that died. He had leukemia for 6 years.
Yeah.
And I believe he died when he wanted to die. There was times when he almost died. And when he died, he actually had a smile on his face. And for me, that is the definition of change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. Because he gave himself, he could have ended it, man.
Yeah.
Had every opportunity to end it. And it got to a point where he was like ready to go home.
Great
and his
dude,
mum
man.
said, go home.
Yeah.
You know? I'm giving you goosebumps.
Oh, he's a great dude, man.
Great dude. But it's just the simple concept of changing the way you look at things,
I
man.
know.
And unfortunately, in this day and age, you see that, and if you see a man but you think it's a woman, well, that's all right then. That's not what we're talking about here.
You know what it is, Benny? And I think you're right, man. It's and you said it before, right? It's like everyone's worried about what's on the outside and what's not on the inside, right? And that's 100% true. And I've spoken about this where a lot of people, it's an overall health aspect, right? It's overall health on how you look, how you feel, and how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
The things about jiu-jitsu, the things about training, it doesn't just have to be hitting the weights. It doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu. It can be any martial art. It can be dancing,
anything,
gymnastics, whatever. Something that's physical, that's demanding on the body and on your mind, and you're able to overcome it.
Sweat.
Right?
You have to sweat.
We have to, right? Just put in hard work and just knowing afterwards that, man, that was hard. You can do all that, look great, but on the inside, mentally, are you all there? Because I know a lot of people that look super jacked, right? They look great, but mentally when I speak to them, they're not all there because they haven't spent enough time with themselves. They're alone with their own thoughts.
That's tricky, Matt.
Right? But that's the thing,
it's
right?
Tricky.
And I was luckily, and that's why you got to experiment, right? Experiment. I said to some guy at the gym yesterday, right, who had this fear, and like, I'm not PTing him. I know what he was there. He was talking to me, complimenting, and he had this difficulty with box jumps, right? I helped him overcome it. He was happy, over the roof, right? But the thing was that he didn't spend enough time with himself to figure out how to overcome it. I had to be that external factor there because I've been in that situation before to overcome your fear.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is that if people spent enough time with themselves and their thoughts to figure out things, because look, a lot of people are very judgmental about themselves more than what other people are judging them when they step into a gym.
That's right.
When you come into a gym, right, you're going to fail. or when you start off.
It is the place of failure.
You have look when
The
people
birthplace of failure.
You know what one of the things he said to me was, he goes, I was a bit shy, I was a bit embarrassed to try because in case I stuffed up, there's been a couple of times where I've almost stacked up. And I said, listen, mate.
That's the perception.
If everyone came in here already complete, what would be the purpose of the gym?
That's so true.
When I started off at the gym, I wasn't who I was.
So true, man.
If I didn't, mate, I had another kid a couple of weeks ago who dropped the bar himself. He was so embarrassed. I said, mate, I get it. Luckily, I was there to help you. That's the main thing. You're safe. I've dropped the bar on me before. Like, shit happens. But the main thing is that you know what your limit is now. Just step it back a bit. Don't be embarrassed because we've all been there. If we were all fully complete when we stepped into a place, an environment like that, then there would be no purpose for that environment to exist.
It would serve no purpose.
Exactly.
1,000,000%. Bro, I think about jiu-jitsu. When you do your stretching when you start. And it's like you get to the point where you're doing all the stretches and then you do the whoo, and you hit the mat, whoo, that one.
The break falls.
Bro, I don't even know what it's called. When I still remember my first few lessons, I was because it's taxing on the abs, right? You don't realize it's taxing. I wish I could show people how to do it. You're like sort of rolling, and you got to roll forward, and then it's like on the way down, you go whoom, when you hit the mat. And I was out of rhythm, right? Everyone's hitting, and I'm hitting it after them, and I felt so fucking uncomfortable, man. But it's that feeling of, why are you worrying about? Like, everyone's gone through it.
Everyone's done it.
Every single, all the I'm going to say fucking his name. I just forgot his name. Formula One drivers, Michael Schumacher back in his day. Do you think he jumped in a car for the first time and just came first? He would have crashed and smashed and done a whole bunch of shit to get to where he achieved. Anyone that, bro, Joe Rogan's the best example. Look at the evolution of his podcast. He says it 1,000,000 times over. He started talking shit with his mates with no intention of being what it is today. And it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And all it was him just doing what he wanted to do.
Yep.
And for us, man, I just forgot what I was going.
You know what?
You finish it for me, yeah.
I'll tell you what, and it's great that you brought him up as an example, because if anyone ever is deterred in life to not do something because, for example, let's use podcasting, because you don't have the best equipment, you don't have the best cameras.
Shittest excuse. Don't give me that.
Shittest excuse, because you want to know why? You wanted a good excuse, and the good thing about having that little time capsule of Rogan, go to his episode 1. What was he doing? They were doing it on a webcam. And
it was like live questions.
And they had snowflakes as their filter coming through, right? So if anyone wants to think, oh, look at Rogan, he's got all the best. He didn't start off like that.
Bro, I'll tell you, man, it's so true.
Right? There's no excuses to anything. What did you start off with? You told me before.
Matty, the first podcast I did was in my mate's room, just mics, a lot of weed. I didn't have any visual, man. All the stuff with Rodney. We did some of the biggest. We did Kyle Sanderland's, Taito Ivasa. It was all sketchy on a fucking all on Audacity, man. I had no idea. I was the sound dude, yeah. I was the sound guy. I just knew. I just worked out how to do it, But that's the other thing, Matt.
That's right.
I had a love for this stuff. I had a genuine desire to do podcasting.
I can see it, man.
Right? I genuinely did.
And you're good at it too.
Oh, thanks, bro. You too, man. But it's like, all right, how am I going to learn this?
That's right.
I'm not going to go, hey, I need help. Oh, hey, sir, come on. No. It's cool. Oh, come on, someone help me. No. It's all right. How do you record a podcast? Well, just Google it. What can you use? What's a free podcasting system to use? Okay, Audacity, nice. Then I worked out, you can only record on one track. So everyone's recording on the same thing. So you can't, like if you say something and I want to take it out, I can't. In this one, we can. Like if you say, I love big dicks, I can take it out and no one will hear it. Like
someone's definitely taking everyone's taking that clip out now. Benny, I love dicks.
Shouldn't have said that, eh? No, but each mic is on a separate track. So you can manipulate both tracks the way you want now.
Yeah.
But you don't learn that until you go through the hard yards. Bro, I did an episode with Bilal Akawi, right? Bilal Akawi, at the time was one of the biggest up-and-coming boxers. He trained on Canelo's team. I was gobsmacked, right? I get to the place where we're recording. He was already there. Rodney wasn't there yet. I'm there. I'd gotten out of the car with my equipment. I get upstairs. I set everything up. I don't do a sound check. I just start recording.
Oh.
And I fuck something up. And the recording fucked up. Oh. It was a one button on here. One little button. And but that, when I say I fucked it up, you couldn't extract anything out of it.
Oh, no.
And it was such a great episode because he's such a nice guy. Bilal Lakawi is a legend.
Yeah.
Good boxer, young kid, full of fucking energy, man. And I butchered it. I went till the cows came home, Googling Fiverr, all over the world, trying to send people the clips so they can fix it. I couldn't. It was irreparable. Could not fix it. So I had to learn, man. That was a really hard lesson to learn. I did another one with my mate Christian, and we had a blinder. The fucking phone stopped recording halfway. This is back when I was using the phone.
I watched that, and I'll say on the next one, you guys.
Let's do another one, and it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. You can't remake greatness.
Yeah.
A podcast is greatness. It's 2 people or 3 people sitting in a room together with no script,
mate,
talking for an hour and 35 minutes.
Bro, and can I say something? Sorry, I don't mean to butt in,
No,
but
that's all right.
It's great what you just said, because how many 40-minute or hour conversations did me and you have on the mobile?
On the phone.
On the last couple.
The last one was an hour.
And me and you were saying, so we had 2 phone conversations for anyone listening. We had 2 phone conversations. One last week was like an hour. The week before was 4 minutes. And me and Benny, we just can't shut up because we don't stop talking. So we're great for this.
100%.
But we're both saying, listen, let's just keep it for the podcast. And then we just keep going. We're like, couldn't shut up.
But that's the beautiful thing about this whole thing, man. This experience. I find this as a way of
expression.
I wouldn't say treating mental health.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's a really good way of a release.
Clarity.
You can say how I've created this environment to say, and this is why I like podcasting, because there's no filters. This isn't pre-recorded. This isn't going to be chopped and changed and muted. This is as you see it is what you get. Unless one of us goes and takes a piss and I'll pause it. Right? But, bro, literally, the whole thing is raw as it can get. And I love that. I love not being scripted. I love having a free platform to speak and however you want. Swear, say whatever you want, I don't give a shit. Be open with yourself, and that's how you can improve yourself.
This is how communication should be, right?
1,000,000%.
Unfortunately, it's not.
Well, bro, I went on a hiatus. Honestly, man, when I was not able to do this face-to-face, again, it's another excuse. I put my hand up. It's another excuse. But I prefer this. I don't like Skype. I don't know about you, but I have not watched a single episode of a Skype.
It's hard.
Rogan did one with Edward Snowden.
I saw. I
didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's hard.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's not because this is how I like it. I just like to hear it raw, straight, no screens, no nothing. Just talk to a person.
There's a delay there. It's hard.
It's not the same. As much as I wanted to get into it, I just couldn't get into it. So when the lockdown hit, I was like, yeah, I'll do all these Skypes and I'll do this and I'll do that and fucking, blah, 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 and didn't do any of it because it's not what I wanted. I'd much rather not do it than do it and not enjoy it. And this is seriously why.
But that's delivering quality, and that's what you want.
100%.
And it's not just putting it out there for the views list. It's because this is something that you're obviously passionate about, and I can see that.
Yeah.
Right, I can see that. And when you're producing it and you're bringing the content out, you want it to be as authentic as possible. This is organic. Like I said, like you said, there's no script. This is just us talking.
Just spitballing,
yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about podcasting, man. But bro, on that note, we're on almost an hour and 40. I've been holding a piss for a little while. But bro, look, before we wrap it up, a nobody's
Gym Journey Through Life podcast.
That's what it's called. You got the words out of my mouth.
It's it's available on YouTube. I'm now on YouTube, so I started doing a couple of visuals. Hopefully, Benny will accept my offer and come on in a couple of weeks.
Fucking oath, bro. I'm ready there.
All right, so
don't even worry.
I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. Can't get
everywhere.
You can't escape, man.
Wherever you can get a good podcast, where Matty's on there, and I highly recommend listening to it. It's a good perspective. It's good to hear you spitballing by yourself. Obviously, there's guests coming on, but to hear your way of thinking, to hear and learn about who you are, because not many people know you the way I do. No one does. And to see what the finishing product is now with still improving, man, it's phenomenal.
Thanks, man.
There's a handful of podcasters that will do it by themselves, and not all of them can get it right, man.
I wanted to do. I'll wrap before we wrap it up. I just wanted to take the time, like I said, between the first 9 episodes, just to introduce myself, get everyone to understand my mindset, just why I wanted to do it, and exactly where I started, and why everyone else has no excuse to not be able to start it.
That's it, man. No excuses.
And Nobody's podcast on Instagram as well, so please check it out.
Follow. I'll plug the shit out of you, bro.
And hey, man, one other thing, Benny, thanks for bringing me on, man. This is a beautiful studio.
Thank you.
I'm glad you brought it back, man. Like thanks, I said, man. You inspired me, bro.
Thanks, likewise, bro. Appreciate it.